next is going to be Danielle in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, I'm nervous. So we sold a car, bought a car with cash. We're debt-free other than our home and a loan to Mom for a remodel on our house. $31,000 for our home loan at 3% interest, $43,000 for a remodel.
You owe your mother $43,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I combine and refinance the home
And pay her off?
Interest and pay her off?
On a 15-year fixed? Yes.
Yes. Or do I go back to baby step 2 because we never was in baby step 2 and pay her off?
What is your household income?
$75,000.
You refinance.
Refinance.
Get her, and Thanksgiving dinner will taste different when you don't owe your mom money.
Especially almost $50,000, right?
It's not strained. It's just.
I didn't say it was.
I just don't like it.
I said Thanksgiving dinner will taste different. And you know what? It's your mom, so it's less strained for you than it is your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When Sharon and I went broke, Danielle, Sharon's dad loaned us some money to catch up the house so we didn't lose it in the bankruptcy. So we owed him some money. And he is the sweetest, kindest, most generous man on the planet. And my brain was about to explode until I got him paid off. There was absolutely no strain whatsoever coming from him, but the borrower is slave to the lender, and that does not change if your master is nice.
Right. And so I wouldn't have to stop our retirement. We're at 15%, and I've got $12,000 in emergency fund.
You're there. You got the equity to
So
refinance, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a $150,000 house. We've always had it on a 15 note.
Yeah, go ahead and put it on a 15-year fixed rate, and let's take her out. The reason I'm doing that is we always put a normal second mortgage, not a mom second mortgage, but a normal second mortgage in baby step 2 or a home equity loan in baby step 2 if it is less than half your annual income. It is not. Mm-hmm. It's more than half your annual income, and it's a mom loan. Double reason, refinance and get rid of it. And it's not because we're mad at Mom. It's not because we didn't appreciate Mom. It's not any of that. It's a bad idea to owe your family money. That's been a theme this hour.
It is. And it's going to let Mom be Mom and not Mom and bank, right?
Yep.
It's just going to, I love that line.
There is no human on the planet that can't wonder about your vacation and what it costs when you owe them $43,000.
Or her husband's able to make eye contact with his mother-in-law just because he knows I'm in the hock to her for $50,000.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Everything.
The nicest people on the planet, it changes it still. It's the old joke is if you loan your brother-in-law $100 and he never speaks to you again, was it worth it? So, it changes. Money changes relationship. And so so moms and dads, quit loaning your kids money. Grandmas that are narcissists, quit loaning your grandkids money.
And we had a call.
If you want to pass some money to another generation, give it to them.
We had a call on another show, Dave, where I wrote this down. The child said to you and I borrowed some money from Mom and I'm going to pay him back. It's a mutual understanding, and that just rang in my head. If you have borrowed money, sit down and negotiate where the terms, let people know, I'm going to pay you back, here's my plan. If it's just unsecured, if it's just a mess.
Yeah, the problem is when you do business with family, people don't treat it like business.
They don't, right.
And then it gets to be lack of communication, it's unclear, we don't have same expectations, and the deal changes.
Right.
And it changes based on a whim. And you know what? I do a lot of business deals. And I don't do any of them except in writing. And it's partly because I forget,
right.
And I want to remember what I said I would do. Mm-hmm. And if it's written down and you go, oh, yeah, now I remember saying I would do that.
I want to honor somebody else that they happen to forget. Yeah. They did a bunch of deals. They forgot that.
Yeah, I want to know what was really said.
Right.
And if I write it down, it's real clear.
Right.
And so, but don't loan your family members money. Don't loan your friends money. No. If you can afford to give them the money, give it to them if you want to, but don't loan it to them. And that's no strings attached.
Right.
That's no like, Well, and you should maybe do that. No. Now, I do know one guy that did a thing where he took care of his kid's first house,
Mm-hmm.
and in return, they promised to never borrow money again.
It's a good deal.
Now, that's a fair string to put on it.
I'll sign up for that deal all day long.
And that was a good one. I like that. And one guy said, he put in the will, you got to go to Financial Peace University. I've heard stuff like that. That's not super manipulative. It's a little strange, but it's not super manipulative. But the trick is you don't get to, because you gave them $10,000 8 years ago, still interfere in their personal lives.
Right.
That's what you don't get entrance to. And so you've got the gift. It's not a gift if it has so many strings attached.
That's right. And
sometimes there's payments that aren't payments.
And it can be a sneaky way to get your hooks in somebody. And sometimes I want to think about it as from the receiver. That $10,000 may really feel good right now, but if you know if there's hooks there, or your dad's going to just start showing up, or he's going to have input on.
My mother-in-law is very controlling, and she demands that we're there on Thanksgiving, and she wants to give us $10,000.
It's probably not worth it.
It's not worth $10,000.
Nope.
It's not worth it. Because she's going to call that back. She's going to call back on that and go, yeah, well, that time I gave you $10,000, so you have to be at Thanksgiving. It's like there's payments.
That's exactly right.
And so, if you're dealing with a control freak or somebody that's got boundary problems, or they're a travel agent for guilt trips or these kinds of things, then you just cannot. Even then, you got to really go very, very clear discussion about a gift. This is an incredible offer. Thank you very much. But we need to say out loud, as a matter of fact, depending on how toxic the situation is, we may even need to write it down, that there are no strings attached. Or if there are, what are they?
And blame us. Say, hey, a couple of hacks on the radio. One hack in Dave Ramsey on the radio said,
that's a couple.
If I'm going to take money, let's write it down. And so I just want to follow the
even
plan.
A gift.
Right.
If you think there's a problem. And so the guy that I'm talking about, this buddy of mine that did this thing with a free house thing, he's written down. It's not a binding agreement. It's just a letter.
Right.
And the kid just promised. And so, if they go crazy later and say, we're going to go, buy a house we can't afford and go into debt after we had a free house, then, he just goes, you told me you weren't going to do that.
Right.
And it's in writing.
Right.
And they both signed it. So, that's at least everybody knows the terms of the deal.
Right.
And you can call back on them then. But this thing of, I'm going to loan my kids money because I get more interest that way than I would get on a CD, and they get a cheaper rate than they would get on a mortgage, it seems like a great transaction, except that the turkey and Thanksgiving dinner just is chewy.
Right. You can't put a price on losing your kid or altering that relationship.
It just changes the dressing. It's not as good anymore. It's too salty.
It sounds like taking money from the government. Just sounds nice and wonderful and clean, right? They're not going to expect anything from us. They're not going to want us to ever pay it back.
I don't know when that would ever happen.
Never. Here you go, guys.
Matter of fact, we'll just forgive your student loans. Oh, wait.
I'm just going to mail you a check.
We just changed our minds again.
That's all right.
Why? Because we're in Congress.
We're going to go with an R bad on that one. Go ahead and pay it all back.
My bad.
They were going to pay it back.
My bad.
Right.
My bad. So I'll just pay it.
Be careful about taking free anything.
Yeah. But listen, the only way you can help out friends and family is not alone.
Right.
It's off the table.